So, I mean, the story being Jonathan, like, what was the conversation? He said that you guys spoke. What feedback did you give him about his play?
We had a good conversation. We had a little one last night. We had another one this morning. But I like with everything, stuff like that, I feel should stay inside. But it was positive for sure.
What would you like to see him work on to get to being back to that player that he knows he can be?
There's always little things. The stuff he was working on today after practice, just the little small like puck games. It's more so for him to feel good about himself in those areas. But a lot of it is just it's eyebrows down and get to work. He's a really good hockey player, and everybody goes through a stretch like he went through last night at some point. I mean, we all heard the story of Tampa. They sat their whole top line out one period. It happens. You're not at your very best every day. It's how you respond to that is really what matters, and that's what's coming next.
What's it like talking to him and coaching him when he has his swagger and he has his full confidence?
What's it like talking to him?
Yeah, what's it like dealing with him?
He's good all the time is the best way I can put it. So we've had good conversations when he's at his highest, and we've had good conversations when he's not feeling like he would like to feel. So he's good in all conversations I've had with him.
There's such a spotlight on him, both in this market and nationally. We've seen you sitting him has been a big story across the country. Do you have to consider that, like the additional focus that benching a player like him is going to have?
Sure, but that's awesome too, because if people weren't looking at you, then maybe you're not considered a top player in the league. But it's something that I would kind of be honored a little bit, and you have to take it the right way, and that's the way I would look at it. Like, there's a reason why there's some pressure, because he's a really good player, and we need him to be at his best all the time, and that's really what it comes down to.
And as a coach, you must be thrilled to see his teammates. I mean, the way that they've had his back, everyone we've talked to has just come out so strongly. That's got to be encouraging for you.
Well, and it's never on one player, like ever. There's some guys have tougher nights because of the pair that they're with, or there's something. Like, everybody's responsible. You can never point the finger when you're in a team setting at one person. So we have great people in our dressing room, and great people that understand each other, and they really enjoy being around each other. So they'll pick them up.
On a certain level, this is being interpreted as a message being sent that, hey, anyone can get really sad if they don't do their jobs well. Is that how you want it?
No, it's game by game. Today's a different day now, and we move on. Yeah.
How have you seen his play evolve since he got here, just from over a season ago to now? How have you seen his game grow?
Jonathan?
Yeah.
Leadership-wise, I mean, I've seen more this year. I mean, I wasn't in the same capacity last year to notice all the different conversations stuff, but I've been impressed with how he's handled himself and how he's handled his teammates. Like, he's a caring young man, that's for sure.
We know Nazem didn't have the greatest start to the year, but you still praised him for certain things that he was still doing with his work ethic. What were some things you saw, I guess, kind of around the Heritage Classic, where he got that goal, where he was able to, do things in practice that could help him turn around to where we see him now, where he's on a 4-game point streak?
I don't know if it was anything in practice for Naz. I mean, that from the beginning of the year, I could maybe think of one game where I don't think his work ethic was at the level where he's capable of. Like, he's been really consistent in that area, and that's one of the reasons why we weren't really concerned with him. Eventually, for those type of players, at times they can be streaky, and now he's feeling good with where he's at. But we talked last night a little bit about it. I think he's enjoying his role and responsibility now too that he has. He's enjoying playing with the younger guys.
What parts of that line? I'm not sure if this is going to make sense. But what are we seeing that those wingers are maybe drawing out of Kadri, and what are we seeing that Kadri's maybe drawing out of them?
I think Naz has brought some confidence to Sharon Govich. I think the increased ice time that Sharon's got as a result of playing with Naz has helped him feel better about himself for sure. And I think with Connor in particular, there's a young guy that needs a lot of guidance. And I think that's one of the things that he's drawn out of Naz is a responsibility of being a leader and helping someone along. And it doesn't mean that you're going to just pat him on the back. It's okay. He's challenging him in the right way. And that's what I really like about where Naz is at right now.
Ryan, you talk about confidence. what kind of couple of come from behind wins do for individuals or for the team to build intangibles like confidence and belief?
Confidence is always something that's earned. So it's a tough word for me because, when players say they've lost it or they don't have a lot of confidence right now, just get to work. You earn your confidence on a daily basis. How you practice, how you prepare to come to the rink every day. Confidence is earned. And that's really what it comes down for me. And it's the same with the team setting. If you do things the right way, eventually over time it pays off. And you earn the confidence, or you earn the result, or whatever is going to come your direction based on the work you're putting into it.
Is that what you're seeing right now with this group as a whole, that they're doing the right things and starting to get rewarded for
I
it?
feel so. I feel that way. I mean, it's coming. We're a long ways from where we want to be for sure, and we're not sitting where we want to be sitting in the standings, but I do feel it's coming.
It really felt like Nikita Zadorov imposed himself a little bit on that game, particularly in the second period. How did he do that?
To me, that might have been his best game of the year. He was the physical guy that we need to see all the time, but he was very responsible in how he played the game in his own zone and with the puck for the most part. So that's what we need out of him. Like, he's a presence when he's on the ice, and he can have a large impact on the game. No, I mean, he's a large guy, but he can have a big impact for sure when he's playing that way. He did a really good job last night.
You talked in training camp about defensemen picking their moments of when to jump in the rush. Yep. I mean, he obviously did it well on the Dubé goal, but is he doing a good job of that?
I feel like he has for the most part all the time. Since I've known him here, he skates really well for a big man, and if he can get the net on a lot of people, he uses that momentum to keep going. So oftentimes he does pick the right time to go, yeah.
Ryan, as a guy who coached in the AHL and played in the minors, like how much respect do you have for a guy like Nick Simone, who's been waiting long? Not many guys get their first NHL point at 28 years old. So
yeah.
How much respect do you have for the sort of work he's put in?
A lot, for staying with it. I mean, it's easy for some guys to get to a certain point of their career when they're like, it's not going to happen for me. I'm going to either be a minor league pro guy, or maybe I'll even look to something else, which was kind of what I did at 25. So he's had the resolve to stay with it and continue to believe in himself. And I love that about players when they have that. I think it shows a lot to the people around them that there's no quit in them, and they're going to do whatever they have to do to get there. And we're happy for him, and he's done a good job.
When your team is going to these big Eastern markets, obviously huge media, but a lot of these guys are from those areas, have lots of family. Is it more important to cut out distractions, or do you want them to sort of enjoy?
On the road, again, we talked before about it. When you're on the road, you're on the road. It's a lot about team. And the one thing when you go back east to these Canadian cities, there is a lot of family and friends around, but I feel like that brings the best out of the players as well. And every time I've been to Toronto or Montreal, we seem to get the best out of our players. So I'm expecting that trend to continue.